You wake up in the morning, you flip on SportsCenter, and it's there. Every game from last night. The highlights, the scores, the magic. You'd see your team, every other team, the big moments, the crazy plays. It felt like Christmas morning, every single day. Now, you wake up and ESPN is talking about drama, hot takes, and gossip. The actual baseball, the recaps, they're buried somewhere online. What happened to baseball tonight? And what happened to ESPN for baseball fans? This is Coach's Tape by Baseball Authority. Today, we're breaking down one of the biggest shifts in sports media, how ESPN went from being the absolute center of baseball culture to pushing the sport to the margins, and what that means for fans who just want to watch yesterday's games. Let me take you back to the 1990s and 2000s. You wake up on a Saturday morning, or maybe it's a random Tuesday and you're getting ready for school. You flip on ESPN. SportsCenter is on, and right there, every single game from last night, every highlight, every big play. If there were 15 games played last night, you're seeing highlights from all 15. The Yankees game, the Red Sox game, the Dodgers, your favorite team. Doesn't matter who you root for, you're seeing everything. You'd see the web gems, you'd see the home run replays, walk-off winners, pitchers duels, blowouts, everything. The scores would run across the bottom, the stats would pop up. You were getting a complete picture of baseball the night before. Then at night, Baseball Tonight would come on. Chris Berman, Harold Reynolds, Tim Kurkjian, Karl Ravech. These guys would break down every game, every storyline. They'd debate trades, they'd analyze pitching matchups, they'd talk about who's hot, who's struggling, and where the races stand. And here's the thing, this wasn't just for casual fans. This is how serious baseball fans stayed informed. If you couldn't watch your team's game live, you knew you'd see the recap. You'd see the key moments. You understand what happened, why it mattered, and what it meant for the pennant race. Your friends would talk about what they saw on SportsCenter that morning. Did you see that catch? The Dodgers are on a roll. Baseball felt alive. It felt central. And it all started with that morning ritual, your daily dose of yesterday's baseball. But something started to shift. In the late 2000s, you'd reach for the remote one morning, and something felt different. ESPN was getting bigger NFL rights. They were doubling down on basketball. And baseball started getting less and less real estate. The nightly Baseball Tonight went from being a staple to being sporadic. Some weeks it aired, some weeks it didn't. Trade deadline? Sure, baseball coverage. Those morning slots, they started filling with debate shows instead of highlights. Here's what actually happened to those morning SportsCenter blocks. The ones that used to be all baseball highlights, they started getting filled with debate segments. First take clips, NBA gossip, NFL draft talk. Maybe you'd get 5 minutes of baseball somewhere in the 2-hour block, if you were lucky. Because here's what ESPN realized. Baseball highlights don't drive ratings like debate does. A calm, informative breakdown of last night's games, that gets decent numbers. But if you get two guys shouting about something controversial for 20 minutes, that gets clicks, shares, and viral moments. So the morning ritual changed. Instead of waking up to here's everything that happened in baseball, you'd wake up to here are two guys arguing about whether it's LeBron or MJ. The recaps moved online. The daily highlight rundown, it became inconsistent, unreliable, and honestly, deprioritized. So why did this happen? First, technology disrupted the entire model. You don't need ESPN anymore to see highlights. You want last night's Mets game? Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, every moment instantly available. You don't have to wait for SportsCenter. You don't have to sit through a full broadcast. Just pull out your phone and search. Second, the money changed. Leagues started charging ESPN more for every clip, every highlight, every right to show baseball content. ESPN had to pay more just to show the same thing. But ratings were dropping. Fewer people were watching baseball highlights on ESPN because they could get them instantly on social media. So why invest big money in something that's not rating well and costs more than it used to? Third, the audience migrated. Younger fans wanted quick hits, endless content, viral moments. ESPN realized they could get more engagement, more clicks, more shares, more controversy by being loud and argumentative. Debates get shared, highlights get forgotten, a hot take goes viral, a stat breakdown gets buried. And then there's the biggest issue, the end of an era. ESPN's 35-year national baseball rights deal ends after 2025. After this year, MLB is done with ESPN. Baseball is moving to other networks, to digital platforms, to places where the sport might get better treatment and more respect. What does that tell you? It tells you that even ESPN's own partner, Major League Baseball, didn't think ESPN was the right home for the sport anymore. That's how far their relationship had deteriorated. Now, to be fair, ESPN did try to innovate. StatCast Edition with advanced analytics on Sunday Night Baseball, mic'd up players during games, behind the scenes access, home run trackers. They tried to modernize baseball coverage. But here's the problem. All that innovation is attached to maybe a handful of games. Sunday Night Baseball, maybe a playoff game here and there. It's not the daily presence that made ESPN baseball magical for generations. And that's the disconnect. ESPN tried to keep baseball alive with special editions and analytics packages. But they abandoned the daily ritual, the morning highlight rundown, the consistent, reliable presence that turned casual viewers into lifelong fans. And if you needed any more proof that ESPN has lost its way with fans, look at what just happened. 2 weeks ago, ESPN went dark on YouTube TV. 10 million subscribers, 2 full weeks, no ESPN, no ABC, no Monday Night Football, no college football on ESPN, gone. Disney wanted more money from YouTube TV. YouTube TV said Disney channels, especially ESPN, weren't worth what Disney was demanding. The blackout started October 30th and lasted 15 days. Disney was losing an estimated $4.3 million per day. YouTube TV ended up giving subscribers a $20 credit. Some fans canceled the service entirely. Think about that. ESPN, the network that used to be so essential to sports fans that missing it for one night felt impossible, went dark for 2 weeks. And you know what happened? Fans found other ways to watch. They went to YouTube highlights, they went to social media, they adapted. Because here's the truth. ESPN isn't essential anymore. Not like it used to be. Not like when Baseball Tonight and Morning SportsCenter were the only ways to see yesterday's game. Not like when missing ESPN meant missing baseball. Now, ESPN is just one option among dozens. The blackout wasn't just a negotiation dispute. It was proof that ESPN's grip on sports fans may be gone. The morning ritual that made baseball fans, it's been replaced by apps, social media, and on-demand highlights. The shared experience of waking up and watching SportsCenter together, it's fragmented across dozens of platforms. ESPN shows debate shows over highlights, hot takes over baseball, and now, when they disappear for 2 weeks, fans barely notice. That's the story, that's Coach's Tape. And for anyone who remembers what ESPN baseball used to mean, the morning magic, that Christmas feeling, the ritual that made you a fan, you're not alone in missing it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that subscribe button and grab some Baseball Authority gear at baseballauthority.com. We'll see you next time.